I'm going to share some TMZ worthy tea. You're not going to hear this anywhere else, very likely, but you are going to hear it from me. And if some shit hits the fan down the road, you know I called it first. So when I was analyzing the charts, the Synastry chart between Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau, one pattern immediately showed up between the two of them. And it's the one that repeated with her relationship with Orlando Bloom and now with Justin Trudeau. So Katy's very drawn to men whose Mars aspects her natal Rahu. For instance, Orlando Bloom's Mars conjunct her Rahu, Justin Trudeau's Mars sextiles her natal Rahu. This creates like a really magnetic, faded, almost addictive chemistry and attraction, especially sexually. It feels like a larger than life, like destiny pulling two people together, like so irresistible. And if you really want to understand this Mars Rahu chemistry, think about Joanne Woodward when she was talking about her connection with Paul Newman and vice versa. She said, and I quote, "Sex is the glue that held us together." And I quote, he said that because of her, he became a sexual creature. That same sexual energy pull exists for Katy. But remember, chemistry alone does not equal compatibility. There has to be more. So moving in, we're looking at their moons. Their moons are quincunx. His is in Pisces. Hers is in Libra, and this creates emotional misalignment. It also creates like different emotional language between each other, mismatched needs, and mismatched timing and unintentional triggering. Even if they were like, really caring about each other, they just can't help it but like be triggered by one another. So, with that said, it's not a compatible rhythm between the two because it creates confusion, emotional exhaustion, and this constant feeling of like something is off. So looking further, Katy's Venus conjuncts Justin's Neptune, and where the real risk begins in the relationship, right? Because this aspect brings idealization, projection, fantasy-driven attraction. It will show that it's a partner, that there's a partner here who feels spiritual, dreamy, otherworldly. To Katy, he appears really enchanting, soulful, emotionally transcendent, but with Neptune, she can't clearly see his intentions, early on, because Neptune blurs the boundaries, right? So these red flags, they're soft, she won't notice, but what she experiences at right now feels like really magical, like too good to be true, but by itself, this is not a dangerous aspect in their chart, but it does become the doorway for something much darker. So here's the true red flag. Justin's Mars quincunxes Katy's natal Sun and Pluto. This creates a very volatile, destabilizing dynamic. Here's what I mean. His impulses are going to clash with her core identity, which is the Sun. His anger and assertiveness is going to trigger her deepest wounds. There's going to be power struggles, that are going to come out of nowhere, and she's going to feel really overwhelmed. She's going to feel cornered. She's going to feel really dominated because of this dynamic. And with Pluto involved, it turns really into like this psychological, intense, and like controlling pattern, that if it's not handled with extreme care, it could turn into a relationship that's very abusive, very toxic. And of course, it begins very subtly, but then it starts to really escalate very quickly over time. So with that said, if Katy was my client, if you know her, or you're someone who's watching, or if you're Katy yourself and you're watching this video, I would lovingly tell you to run the other way. Seriously, because this connection is not an aligned connection. It's not, it feels karmic, it's seductive, it's like intoxicating, it's interesting, it's attractive, but ultimately it's dangerous, it's draining, it's extremely difficult to escape once it starts to get really deep. You will become so entangled that finding your way out of this relationship is going to almost feel impossible. So you might believe like you're stepping into a romance, but the truth is you're stepping into a trap that's disguised as chemistry. Now, if you are someone you know is looking for a Vedic Astrology, love, relationships, synastry session, you could find me at AstroDevi333 or go to AstroDevi.com, or you could book your appointment there. Of course, stay paying attention to your natal charts. Synastry is a real thing. It could tell you if your relationship is going to be amazing, or if it could tell you that you can be in danger. You want to be aware and you want to learn. And if you don't know, it's always best to seek a consultant so you can make the best decision for yourself moving forward in any relationship.